Says this: if the part of the dough offered as first fruits is holy, then the whole batch is holy. If the root is holy, so are the branches. There's three ways that we can speak of holiness towards something. God is holy. In fact, in Isaiah chapter 6, the angels are flying, covering their eyes and covering their feet, and with two wings flying. And they're saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The earth is full of his glory. Okay? God is holy. And what that means is more than just he is without sin. That's often our common understanding of holy. We think of like pastors as holy, right? The Holy Father is who? The Pope, right? He's a guy without sin, which is not true. He's completely sinful, just like I am. Okay? Neither is Mary, the mother of Jesus, sinless. She was a sinner just like all of us. She needed Jesus just as much as I need Jesus. So did every holy saint and every holy apostle. And okay, when we speak of God as holy, yes, sinlessness is a part of the equation, but it's so much more. It means his complete, if I could say it, otherness. He's in a whole other realm of existence than us. He is the source. We are dependent on him. Okay? When he decides, we die. When he decides time is done, it's done. Right? We're the clay, he's the potter. That's what it is to be holy. He is in a whole other realm of existence. He is a whole other being, and he is the source. He is completely other than us. Okay? That stabs at holiness. It's not just sinlessness, which it is, but it's so much more. It's being eternal. It's not having a beginning and not having an end. Okay? It's knowing all things. All things. Okay? It's knowing how to create a universe, how to keep galaxies spinning, right? How to create light, we're talking huge. When we say God is holy, we're talking an enormous word. It engulfs all of his attributes. His sovereignty, his rule. Think of hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes, and this is one little planet amongst billions of galaxies. And God rules over all of them. In fact, Matthew, Jesus tells us about God. He says not one sparrow falls without the Father willing it. That's amazing, okay? God controls the galaxies, but yet he controls the sparrows. In fact, he goes further to say that each hair on your head is numbered. That's amazing. But yet when you think about atoms, right? Protons, electrons, and neutrons, he controls the subatomic world as well. He's that big. And so when we say God is holy, we're talking about all that stuff. He's just massive bigness, otherness. Okay. Two more things and we're done. When we talk about people as holy, we're not necessarily talking about sinlessness, but we're talking about God setting someone apart for something. Okay, and the same in the Old Testament is the case with certain vessels, certain objects, right? God, the temple utensils were holy. They were set apart for a certain use. The sacrifices were holy. They were set apart for a certain use. The first fruits of all of the crops and the animals, that's in our verse here. What first fruit means is this. In the Old Testament, God wanted the first of everything. The first of the field, whatever you harvest, I want the first of it because I gave it to you. I want a little bit of it back, and I want the first and the best. Of the cows, he wanted the best and the first. And we will next week go into Leviticus and see specific places where he talked about first fruits. Okay, but in general, here's what this passage is saying. The dough and the root is referring to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they are holy in the sense that they're set apart for a certain use. Not that they're any better than us, Not that they're sinless, because just read the account of them and they're totally sinful, just like we are. But God chose and set them apart for a purpose, which was to bring in the Messiah, which was to bring in the Bible, which is, okay, there's all kinds of purposes for which he chose or set apart as holy Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then the Jewish people. He used them as a means to accomplish a lot. Okay? We have the Bible because of them. We have Jesus because of them. And we have, you guys get it? Okay. So, in general, that's what it's referring to. Next week, I'll prove it with other scriptures. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what it means, and then next week I'll actually show you the scriptures of why I think that's what it's talking about. Is that fair? All right, we got about 5 minutes left, and we'll close it up there and ask if is there any questions or any confusion? Anyone want to ask anything before we pray? Nothing? Yeah, go ahead. Like, if you died tonight? Okay. Okay. If you died tonight, what would happen? And this is what I understand from studying the Bible. If you're a Christian, your body will go into the ground and your spirit will go to be with God. Your soul or your spirit, the immaterial part of you, will go to be with God. You will see him. I believe that, and this is true if you just think about it for a second. The part of you that thinks, that wills, and that sees, that is conscious, is the immaterial part of you. Now, it's connected to the physical part of you, but the you lives inside this body. So the example I've heard, which is good, is if you chop your arm off, you're still you. If your legs get chopped off, you're still you. You're still you, right? And the consciousness within you, though it uses the brain, right? And if your eyes put out, you can no longer physically see. But when you die, your spirit or the immaterial part of you will go to be with God. Your body gets put in the ground, and you will live with God until the resurrection of the